Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Friday, October the 22nd. Just on the weekly chart here, we're looking at wave 4 being in play here, but we need to be careful that it's actually, finished. I believe it is because of the UK market taking out the top up here, and also the S&P is quite close to taking that top out. So we should tag along, and it's our banks that will take us on that journey. We want CBA to clear that 105.20 area. But just here on the weekly, we can see that we've got a crossover here for this on the stochastic. So that's supportive. Let's go in. What we're actually looking for is a nice support on the 7,400, as we were talking about yesterday. So let's go in and have a bit of a look at that. So we can see that that we're in the process of developing support on this level, and you can see that it's an important level, and it's also the 50-60% retracement level from the high to the low, so just gives it another layer of complexity and time to be spent at that particular point there. But that's sort of where we are. I mean, we may not have finished wave 4 over here, so we always have to be mindful of that. But the more support that we get on here, and as I mentioned, the UK market, FTSE's taken that top out, and the S&P is reasonably close to taking the top out. But that doesn't mean that it's just safe at that point, but it's helpful. So anyway, let's continue to cruise in here and check on this. So looking at wave 4 here with 1 and ABC for 2 here, then 1 ABC for 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 3rd, 4th, 5th and 3rd and 4th and so on. That's what we're looking at. Let's go into the 1 hour. Looks like it's sort of floating in space there a little bit, but that 7,400 is quite critical. So yeah, just bringing it back into the hourly chart with 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then going up for the 3rd wave here, and we're looking for the 4th wave. And it's possible that we've got the 4th wave in now. We've been looking for that. It kind of makes a nice sort of A wave, B wave and C wave to this point. So normally we'd bring this down to the 2nd level, but I think that we also need to bring it down a little bit further as well here. Just need to think this out a little bit. So one of the things here that we can look at, or the next step really, is the 30, because that's the top of group 1. But that's still very high up there, isn't it? So we can come down to 2 here, and also 10 as well. So we're expecting Thursday to be bearish and to shore up in the afternoon, and Friday to be bullish. So we're looking for that bullish run for Friday and Monday. So really all we need to do is probably just take that high out there. I think that would just about do the job. The other point is being able to scale in. If you've got a bit of skill set there, if the 10 becomes the support, the 74.10, then you can move in on that and then build on the 20 and on the 30. If the 30 becomes the support, then you know you're going to the 50 at that point. So it's just a matter of scaling up at that as you see strength in the market. If we don't see Friday as strong, let's just say that this drops down through here, well, then this wave 4 is going to get a little larger, and taking that low to that high, the 38.2% retracement level is still lower here. So it's just that the two things that we've got here to support further upside is that we've got the ABC pattern in here already for this wave 4, so that's one positive thing. Friday we look for the bullish move, so that's sort of two positive things. But it is possible for this to maybe slide down here further, so we just need to watch out for that. But yeah, it's basically buy strength. You see strength and you buy that strength, and you keep building in your own way, and use the levels here for that. So if I just go from here to the bank, because it's kind of a bit of an access point here for this, so yeah, we've talked about this a fair bit. We've got nice volume here for this because we've got increasing volume on this side over here where we can look for 1 and 2 and 1 ABC for 2 here. And did it take that high out there? Let me just check on some data that that I can trust. So that's maybe not. Not quite. So as I may have mentioned yesterday, we really want to set that's the high of that bar there. So what we want to do is we want to set the order, the buy on stop order, if that's what you can do, at 105.21. Because there will be at 20 there will be a lot of orders sitting there, and obviously because it's kept the price down, they would have started building up at 18 on this side, so 18, 19, 20. So going 1 point above there will clean the market depth out to a point, but that's what we're looking for. Let me just have another little look at this here. We've got that also increased volume yesterday on this. This day here was down and closed lower than it opened, but that's okay because it's on lower volume, so the sellers are not in control at that point. So this is all telling me, the volume and the price action is telling me that we're going higher here, and that will take the ASX higher as well. So that's what we're looking for. So I don't really need to go into any more explanations here for this. Actually, just I think I got the wrong bar there, you know. Yeah, it hasn't updated. Okay, well that's I haven't updated that this morning, so sorry about that. Well then in this case it looks like we've taken out that, so yeah, so we're probably long at the moment. I was going to get some myself, but just didn't get time to do that. But let's just assume that we're triggered here now on that. So what we'll do, we'll just copy that and put that under there as the stop, and we'll start working that to the upside. That low should not be breached. If that's going to be wave 1 with an ABC correction, that low should not be breached. So we can put our stop there, which is not too far away really. Okay, ANZ hasn't done much. Where's ANZ here? Still sitting pretty flat, just waiting, but edging higher, so we're okay with that. So yeah, the bank's taking the ASX higher, and we'll have a look at China. China's sort of edging up a little bit. It does look like that's in 3 waves, that move down here, so we should continue to the upside there on that. Just going to just update my data while I'm here. I thought I did that. Strange. Okay, I want to come back and check the Shanghai comp for that as well, and CBA. So yeah, now India is sticking to the 18 here, so that's going to be we might be in more of an issue here, so I might have to go back, and I'll just wait and see what occurs here, just to see if this drops back below the level at this point. I mean, at the 18, it looks like a classic trading levels pattern where we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the ABC. But I'll just wait on that. Because Thursday we're expecting, bearish days, and Friday to be bullish. So we'll see if that pushes up off that. We'll get a nice clean move off that. And over to the commodities. Now, iron ore has dropped 7%, so that's quite a drop. So this picture that I've got here is kind of hopeful, as I mentioned yesterday, because the move up here, I can't get it at 5 waves. I could force it into 5 waves, but I'm still going to put wave 2 here for just today, because the reason for that is this move down through here that we counted yesterday was in 5 waves. So I was wondering if we got an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave 2, and then pushing up from that low there. Look, it's a bit hopeful, I know that, but we'll just go in and have a bit of a look at it anyway. So this is off the low here where we've had it. I've just struggled to get 5 waves off this move here. It just counted better as an ABC, and then from yesterday and the day before, we could count this down here as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to that low. So it looks like we've got some sort of well, let's just say that this is just such a long shot, so don't do anything sort of based off it here. So that would be the 1 and 2 if we were going to force that there. So all of this would be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here, and that's the low in place. We need to see that build from there. Now, I know that, I can see that this is impulsive here, and this is corrective, so I can see that we're going to be going up here, but we could only go up to, if it is bearish, then we could look at this as, okay, I'll take that as 5 waves. So that would be, it would just come back to here and drop at that point. So we'll just keep an eye on it, okay? If we want to short it, we can short it under here if it pops up to that point there. So we'll see how that travels. But yeah, look, putting wave C and 2 here is extremely hopeful. But I'm a positive chap, so we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so crushing news for iron ore. Now, gold. So this is just the tick chart for gold. You know where we are with this. We've got wave B here, we've got wave 1 here and 2 here on the positive side, then wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then I'm looking at this being wave 1 and 2 and possibly 1 and 2 here. Now all of this could be counted bearish, and that's why we've got the stop loss sitting under this level here. But the thing this is another hopeful event, really sort of pushing up here. But what I like about this is that we can count this up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit dodgy, yeah, I know. Then we sharp wave 2. That's whatever it is. So this move through here, we can count that as we can count it from this low to this high here. I can count it as being in 5. I can see sets of 5 waves, but I'm not really worried about that. What makes it really interesting for me is that this move here appears to be in 3 waves. So that tells me that, that's bullish corrective. So no matter what happens here, then these tops should be taken out. I suppose we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, but then this high here is higher than that one, So, and it's hard to count that down as wave 1. I mean, we can count that down as an impulse wave. So I'm thinking that we're going to be taking out the tops here. So this looks also impulsive here. So yeah, you could probably go long from this point. This here is telling me that the market is corrective, bullish corrective, and we should be going up at that point. So my hopefulness, I think, might just pay off. But whatever happens, the market can't drop below this low of wave 2 here. If that's the case, then we will be coming down further. We will be making a low below this low here. Make no mistake about that. So let's just see how this plays out here for this. Let's just have a quick look at silver. Just sort of it's helping with the count a little bit. No, it hasn't moved much. We were looking for that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the top there. Now we're looking for wave 4 to pull back. So that's all looking good as wave 4. How far can that pull back? If we take wave 2 low and take it to the top there, it can pull back further at this point. It could pull back to that point. Anyway, just to let you know, so you don't panic if it pulls down a bit further in that case. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing to the upside here, this 1, 2, 3 here, can certainly be an A, B, and C to that point there, right? So that's critical. I'll just put that in there so we know. Now, just want to just have a quick look at CBA again. Yeah, so that's taken that top out there. That's good. I just want to have a look at the just keeping an eye on the Shenzhen and the Shanghai. That's the Shenzhen. This is the comp here. So we're still pushing up off the low there. That's good. This does appear to be corrective here. So yeah, it's looking still okay. It hasn't sort of crashed. I mean, there's a lot of concern coming out of China with things slowing down. I mean, a lot of companies are evacuated from China. There's a real slowdown, and that will become evident over the months ahead, and you'll see that in well, you're kind of seeing it in certain countries now, you know, that empty shelves everywhere, and I think that's just going to become more and more. That was listening to Cathy Wood at ARK Invest. She's my fundamental queen of things, so it's always nice to listen to her. She's passionate about her fundamental analysis, and I respect that. And yeah, so I can take that on board. So let's go off and have a look at crude oil, sorry. So the thing with crude, we're just trying, I mean, as I've mentioned before, is that the trend is still higher, and I can see that this is some part of some third wave here. But I have to say, this little move coming down from the top here, if we counted this as 1, 2, 3, I had this in blue yesterday, but now it's in green. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I mentioned that this move here needs to be shorter than wave 3, so that's in place. But the thing here is that the interesting thing here is I'm not getting 5 waves down here. I'm getting 3 waves, which is okay for wave 4, but having that 3 waves coming down here, it's almost like it wants to push up from that point. So we just need to be a little bit careful about that. I just go to the tick chart, and so an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So what I can say is that if that top is breached here, then we're going to go higher at that point. And this here is in 3 waves so far, but it could build into 5 waves. So that's something that you'll need to keep an eye on, as well as 1 and 2 in here, and you can see 3 here, and somewhere in here there'll be a 4. And then a 5, and then there'll be a move back at that point. So it could move up from that point. It could also continue down here as well, but not to go long here, but over this side over here. So once you can see that, you can kind of see that, even though you can't count that, you can kind of see that it's all part of the same family. So 1 and 2 and 3, I don't know if it's topped out here yet, but it's going to meet that supply and struggle, and then the last bit up. So wait for that high to come in, and then you can also bring it down to that high, or I'll do that tomorrow as well on the next video. But yeah, it'll take a session to roll over and sort this out here. But even though we've got it as a top, we're just really, picking tops is dangerous business. So let's just allow this to play out a little bit further. Let's see if we get a move lower down here, and that will be sort of helpful. We could look at this as an ABC or a WXY or something or other, but we'll just see if we get 5 up here. If we get 5 up here first, then we can go long at that point. And copper has pulled back. Let me just find that. Okay, let's check on copper. So with copper here, we've got, we were looking yesterday at this being an ABC correction here for wave 4, but it's hit this 61.8% and has moved lower. So we've got a larger wave 4 here. But yeah, it should find ground here and push up here. So buying copper stocks or buying this market here, you'd still need this to develop support, another little classic trading levels pattern here, so to speak, before you could go long here. That just helps you, like buying it here, you're just exposed because you're under the level here. If we make a mistake, then it could just retest the level and drop again at that point. So that's why we just need to make sure that just another layer of security. We know that the market here is corrective because it's in 3 waves in its first leg. It may even get more complicated, but it's still corrective. Let's have a look at the gas market. It's just the 10-year yields here. They're still pushing up nice and strongly. Here they'll just continue to move higher, but we want the gas, so we'll go over to the energy section, and we've got the gas here. So as we spoke yesterday, that the market has pulled back, well, close to the wave 4 of one lesser degree and the 38.2% retracement level. Once again, we know that the move down from the high here, the first leg down, is in 3 waves. So we know that the market is corrective, and we're expecting it to push up from these lows. So just on the hourly chart here, we started to look yesterday at it being to the upside. So the main point here though is that from the top up here we've got an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, and then this B wave takes out this B wave, so it forces this to be in 3 waves. So 3 waves in the downtrend is bullish corrective. So then we have this 5 wave structure here. So we called the low in through here and we're looking for the market to push up. So 1 and 2 we put in. This is probably 1 and 2 of the next smaller degree, and 3, 4, 5. So all we can do is just watch how that moves to the upside. Of course, I don't have any evidence in the structure that we're going higher here because this is in 3 waves here. That means that it can be corrective, but taking that top out there would be the first time that it pushes it through. But still, it could be an ABC for the A wave, a B wave and a C wave, and still fail at that higher up here as well. So there's a way to go with all of this. And for Woodside, we were expecting it to well, in general pull back. We'd been over here, we sort of counted up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here, and then we've sort of watched it roll over, and so it's down at this stage here. So we're looking at buying it down at this stage, but let's just chill a little bit. We want to see this move up to a point as well. So what we're looking for here is we want this to finish, right? And then we want to see the first little 5 waves up here. So I'll just put that over there for the time being. You can buy it on the low here if you want. I mean on this low down here. But there's always the possibility that it could extend further. I mean, after all, if this is wave 1 here, then the 50-60% retracement level is much lower. It's down here somewhere. So we just need to be mindful of that. So it could move down there further. So that's what we need. That's why we just need to be a little bit safer with this. So we'll just give that a session or two, let it build there, and we don't get the best price, but we get a safer entry, that's all. But I'll leave that up to you to handle. Let's just check on Santos while we're here as well. Santos is doing the same thing. So, I mean, first of all, what I can say is, you see how this move here is in 3 waves? So then it's not confirmed as 3 waves because this move coming up here didn't take that top out there. So it's not confirmed. It can be down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2. But it's likely that it's an ABC pattern for the A wave, the B wave and the C wave here. And that we could have the low in here and you could buy on the low of 720 that we're looking at. But let's just get a bit more information first about this, any upside there. We just really want to see the first little 5 waves to the upside just to help us on our way. So that's the end of the commodities. Let's just have a look at the dollar and stuff. This is just the yields here. As I just mentioned, they're still to the upside here. So they've got further to go up. We've looked at this before, but if we just count here as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5, then we can look at this from this point to this point as some sort of little third wave there. And then we've got a 1 and 2 here, so that takes us up to this point here at that point. So it's likely that we're going to get a little correction back here for this. So I don't know if that's finished there just yet. Let's just take it a bit higher. It could pull back here before going off again. So that would be 1 and 2 to here, and 3 to here, and 4 to here, and 5. I mean, meeting these highs here somewhere, it's going to force it back, isn't it? So anyway, that's a little shell of that. On the DXY, I think I might just go straight through to the, I don't know if it's the hourly chart or 15-minute chart. I think we'll just go to the hourly chart. I think we had it labelled a bit. Yeah, so there was a couple of things here that we needed to talk about. Is that it's possible that we've got a top in and we're moving lower, but I just really wanted to make sure about that. I know that, so I was looking at wave 3 here with an A wave here, a B wave here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here coming in for an ABC low at that point. If that low's breached, then we've got a bear market at that point. That's what I wanted to get to, that point there. So let's just see how this plays out here. I've given it every chance to complete, and yeah, so accommodating all mistakes and all those sorts of things. So let's just see if that's, if this moves down, then if this moves down from here in any way, then that we've got a top in place. And we are seeing the Australian market move up on the Australian dollar, just as an example here. But so with the Aussie dollar here, we've got, well, wave A, B and C down through to here. Now this could be wave 1 and 2 and then going up higher here, or we could even be a wave 4. I don't think it's a wave 4 because it's kind of overlapping the wave 1 if we use that, but this is also in 3 waves here, so it makes it a corrective. So we probably are bullish, but we just wanted to get a good grip on this. So from this low here coming up to here, we were looking for 5 waves here. So we know that after 5 waves, we can go long at that point. So, because if this was going to be corrective and it was going to go down, then we would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after it pulls down here, then we know that the 5 waves are finished, yeah? And then anything above that, we know that, well, it's got to be bullish at that point. So, as simple as that. So, let's go and have a look. We're on the tick chart for this. No. But I do want to clean this up here. I need some extra thingy bobbies. So it must have been on the hourly chart. So let's go to the hourly chart. Yes, this is where we were. Let's get all this back in. So this is the 5 waves that we've been monitoring. So wave 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and then going up for the 5th wave. And we sort of got to that eventually, got to the top. So basically what we can see here is that we're getting a corrective pattern here. I mean, I don't know if it's corrective. I know that first move down through here looks impulsive to me. So, but the important point here is now we can confirm that high. We can also confirm that any move above this high, we can also go long on. But what we want to do now is we want to get a better setup. We could probably even go long on top of that one there, but it doesn't really leave us. I mean, if we're looking at this trend here, from the low to the high here, we want to see a pattern here that would kind of rebalance this situation. So we want some type of correction here, and that will help us, you know, get a better setup and stuff. So that's what we're looking at. So we'll just let that float for a little bit. It's just a bit small so far, but if we've made a mistake, we'll have to buy that high. That's okay. You could probably buy that high there too. Or if you get a classic trading level pattern sitting on 75, well then you could buy that. That means that would need to push back up here. It would be a reaction. You'd need the first high above the level, and then you could go like that, and you could go long on that one there. But that said, I think we need to be looking for some kind of correction here, do you know, before we move off. The other point here too is it's always just good to put it in. So we've got that length. We've got, I don't think it will come back here, but hey, you never know, do you? Just we'll just leave it there for the time being. So we've kind of got things covered a little bit. But yeah, there we go. We were, you know, tracking, I think we were down here somewhere. We're just tracking those 5 waves up. So we nailed the top in, and now we're just waiting for the correctional pattern here. I mean, it should just be a simple zigzag, but let's just see. Let's just see if we get, I want to see if we get 5 waves down here first in the A wave. If we get 5 waves here. If we get 5 waves here, that means we'll get 3 here and another 5 over here. If we just get 3 waves here, then we'll have to label this a wave 3 at this point. So anyway, you know, as far as the crow flies, we could actually be coming down even here further. Do you know what I mean? So based on the daily chart here, we've got 5 waves here, so we could come down here further. I don't know anything yet really. So, but we've done all the right things. We've waited for the 5 waves to move up, and we'll just wait for a correction. We'll see if we can get a setup, and if we get a setup, we'll go long. If it doesn't pan out, well then we'll have to look on the short side, and we'll be short. But yeah, that's where we are at this stage. Just need to discover the truth. There we go. Let's see what comes. Okay, so over to the commodities stocks. So BHP, this is US BHP, kind of considering this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and we've dropped back. Let's just see how we sit back in the 50-60% area through here for that. I mean, iron ore's dropped yesterday, so that's a sign of that overnight with the US markets. And the Australian BHP we'll get that today. I mean, this is what we were looking for yesterday as well, wasn't it? You know, we're looking for an ABC back. So let's see how iron ore does at this point in time. I mean, we know this is going to drop back lower through here. So, yeah. And, of course, the other markets, Rio is going to be knocked around. So we can bring Rio, this trade here, it will probably gap there, but anyway, we need to exit that, and we'll see that down at 90 at this stage, so we'll have to exit that, and that leaves that there in 3 waves. But I'll still take it from here and look at this as 1 and 2 to this point, and all of this is the 3rd, the 4th and the 5th, or probably 2 more little moves down, but we'll probably end up being down at 88 or somewhere lower in that point there. And also FMG is going to be knocked around as well here. We were looking at it, we could get 5 waves out of this, but it's not the best looking 5 waves. You could count it as corrective, and then we were looking for an ABC back here. But what's happened with iron ore is going to take this even lower, but let's just see how this is. We've just got half a trade over here for that, so if you want to exit that, then that's fine. Yeah, so I mean, it's a bit hopeful having this on the low here and looking at this as wave 1. That's hopeful. Wave 2 is also hopeful, pulling back right back to where it is here. This move here, it could be counted. It could be counted differently as well. We can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, an ABC for the 4th and the 5th. Okay, yeah, no, if it's okay, I could tighten that up and look at it as an A and a B and a C, I'm sure. Yeah, we could just simply push this across to here and here and here. So that can just look at this as the A, the B and the C wave to that point. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I mean, wave A is quite big here, and see how that holds up. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.